Hi guys, it's Femi here. Hope you're all doing good today. Today I wanted to talk about predictive programming for the zombie apocalypse and La Palma eruption. So I'll be starting with the zombie apocalypse. We see here on CDC's very own website, they've been blogging about zombie preparedness to prepare the masses for the zombie apocalypse. But the way they worded it, they made light of the situation so that people are not really alert to it, but they just think it's a tongue-in-cheek thing, and they actually use the word tongue-in-cheek as well. So we see here this first article, zombie preparedness for educators, and here they say after the successful zombie preparedness campaign in 2011, an overwhelming number of educators requested zombie-themed preparedness activities for school-age children. This website was created to help educators teach middle school-age children the basics of emergency preparedness and response using a fun, fictitious scenario. And nothing is fun, okay? Everything is predictive programming. Everything is on purpose. These people are evil. They're evil. And I told you guys before, all these zombie movie, alien thing movie, all of them, they are all predictive programming, okay? So this is the video that we're going to watch of theirs together, and then I'll show you a clip I saw about the US military being prepped for the same thing.
Good morning, agents. I have some bad news, terrible news. You're going to have to work together as a team. And no, that's not the bad news. An increasing number of citizens in remote areas are disappearing. As more people disappear, the number of gruesome, unexplained deaths is increasing, especially at night. We've identified the perpetrators as difficult to kill, flesh-eating zombies. Unfortunately, the number of undead is rapidly increasing, and the victims have been reappearing as perpetrators. Survivors are running scared, and citizens are starting to panic. We're seeing a breakdown of peacekeeping and medical services throughout the nation, and key officials have been compromised. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to ensure your community is prepared for a zombie apocalypse. Your teacher has further information regarding the situation. Thank you, agents, and good luck.
Okay, so we see here in another blog post, they say, wonder why zombie apocalypse and zombie preparedness continue to live or walk dead on a CDC website. As it turns out, what first began as a tongue-in-cheek campaign to engage new audiences with preparedness messages has proven to be a very effective platform. We continue to reach and engage a wide variety of audiences on all hazards preparedness via zombie preparedness, quote unquote. And then you see the list the blogs, okay? Zombie preparedness blog, zombie preparedness for educators, zombie preparedness poster, which you can all read on your own, okay? Zombie preparedness graphic novel. So let's watch the clip about the military being prepped on zombie preparedness. It's a very short clip.
Alright, well, what kind of knife are you going to use? Sorry, so you'll fall down. Top it. Oh, yeah. Anybody have anything to add?
So you see that for real, they are prepping for this because they know something that the masses do not, okay? The people at the top know about the truth of these things because they are the ones that have planned it. It's wicked. So I'll just read a little bit of this article here. Preparedness 101 Zombie Apocalypse. There are all kinds of emergencies out there that we can prepare for. Take a zombie apocalypse, for example. That's right, I said zombie apocalypse. You may laugh now. Nobody's laughing. But when it happens, you'll be happy you read this. You see that? When it happens, they know it will happen. You'll be happy you read this. And hey, maybe you even learn it too about how to prepare for a real emergency. A brief history of zombies. We've all seen at least one movie about flesh-eating zombies taking over. My personal favorite is Resident Evil. But where do zombies come from? And why do they love eating brains so much? The word zombie comes from Haitian and New Orleans voodoo origins, and we all know that voodoo is witchcraft. Okay? This voodoo religion is witchcraft, basically. They're worshipping demons and sacrificing to demons and invoking demons. Although its meaning has changed slightly over the years, it refers to a human corpse mysteriously reanimated. It's not mysteriously, this is demonic, through demonic possession, okay? So, even though drugs are involved in this, there's a spiritual aspect to it, and the spiritual aspect is the demons also animating the corpse, okay? To serve the undead. Through ancient voodoo and folklore traditions, shows like The Walking Dead were born. Like I said, because voodoo is witchcraft, and they deal with demons in there, and it's not only voodoo anyway, just witchcraft in general, anything to do with Lucifer and demons and Satan, the demonic realm is basically witchcraft, no matter what they call their religion. In movies, shows, and literature, zombies are often depicted as being created by an infectious virus which is passed on via bite and contact with bodily fluids. Harvard psychiatrist Steven Schlossman wrote a so-called fictional medical paper on the zombies presented in Night of the Living Dead, and refers to the condition as ataxic neurodegenerative satiety deficiency syndrome caused by an infectious agent. The Zombie Survival Guide identifies the cause of zombies as a virus called Solanum. Other zombie origins shown in films including radiation from a destroyed NASA Venus probe, as in Night of the Living Dead, as well as mutations of existing conditions such as prions, mad cow disease, measles, and rabies. The rise of zombies in pop culture has given credence to the idea that a zombie apocalypse could happen. In such a scenario, zombies would take over entire countries, roaming city streets, eating anything living that got in their way. The proliferation of this idea has led many to wonder, how do I prepare for a zombie apocalypse? So I'll stop there, guys, and you guys can read the rest on their website, okay? You can read the rest of it by yourselves. So it's also interesting that not only is this global agency, the CDC, promoting this agenda of the zombie apocalypse because they know it will happen, we see private corporations like Amazon, who has incorporated into their service terms a clause about zombies, okay, about the zombie apocalypse and zombies. So Article 42.10 here says acceptable use, safety critical systems, and then I'm just going to go straight to here, which says, however, this restriction will not apply in the event of the occurrence certified by the United States Center for Disease Control or successor body of a widespread viral infection transmitted via bite or contact with bodily fluids that causes human corpses to reanimate and seek to consume living human flesh, blood, brain, or nerve tissue, and is likely to result in the fall of organized civilization. Isn't that interesting? Okay? Orchestrated chaos. Orchestrated. So let's talk about La Palma predictive programming. Firstly, let's watch this video game that talks about it. And the video game is called Secret Files 2 Puritas Cordis. Okay? So let's watch.
This is La Palma, one of the Canary Islands, a paradise for sun-loving tourists. For us, the island holds quite another fascination, the Cumbre Vieja volcano. The brittle western slope of the volcano is covered in clefts and fissures where water has collected. And now for the interesting part. By placing several bombs in carefully calculated spots, we can use thermonuclear explosions to heat that water so that it will evaporate instantaneously. If you had paid attention in your physics classes, you would know that such a sudden evaporation of water would create sufficient pressure to shatter the volcano's brittle slope and send it crashing into the sea. Can you guess what comes next? That's right, a tsunami. Waves 200 meters high will charge across the Atlantic with the speed of an airplane. the tsunami will sweep across the east coast of the United States. New York will disappear in an apocalyptic flood, taking with it the self-proclaimed rulers of the world who are currently squabbling in blind incompetence at the UN headquarters. The resulting vacuum of power will be filled by our followers, some of whom have been biding their time in key positions for decades. They will take control and lead humankind to a new golden age.
By the way, this video game came out in 2009, okay? Now, let's read this article from Hal Turner's website, which was written 22nd October 2021 and has been updated ever since then. So the article is evidence that La Palma eruption and earthquakes are artificial attack. Artificial earthquakes attack. The volcanic eruption, which began on the island of La Palma in the Canary Islands, Atlantic Ocean, off the northwest coast of Africa, seems to be getting some help. Artificial help to make it worse. Evidence below. When the Cumberviejo volcano on La Palma began erupting on September 10, it immediately became the focus of intense attention because that island is the only place in the world which can generate a tsunami wave, which is capable of literally destroying the entire east coast of North America. Back in the 90s, several scientists closely studied and even went inside the then dormant volcano and found that the entire southwest flank had become unstable and could slide into the Atlantic Ocean. That unstable landmass is the size of the island of Manhattan, NYC, and would generate a tsunami wave. Computer models showed the tsunami would begin hitting the US East Coast within 7 to 8 hours and would smash almost all the major cities with a wall of water 30 meters to 50 meters high. That would mean a wave 100 to 164 feet tall, lasting 5 to 45 minutes as it flooded 12 to 15 miles inland. As interest in the eruption grew, people started paying closer attention to what was taking place there. Tonight, that attention has paid off. The European Mediterranean Seismological Center, EMSC, was founded in 1975 following a recommendation from the European Seismological Commission, ESC. The ESC is a regional commission of the International Association of Seismology and Physics of the Earth's Interior, IASPEI, itself a specialized association of the International Union of Geodesy and Geophysics, IUGG. Put simply, it is Europe's equivalent to the US Geological Survey in the USA. Tonight, if someone goes to the EMSC website to look at earthquakes taking place on the island of La Palma, they get a map showing this. The red dots forming a blob of red indicates the ongoing clusters of earthquakes around the erupting volcano. If you zoom in a little closer on the same earthquake map, you see this. But watch what happens when you zoom in really close. That's almost a perfect grid pattern. There is no way that's natural. No possible way at all. It looks as though La Palma is being attacked. It appears some type of technology is being used to specifically target the island and cause earthquakes, and the attack pattern indicates it is intended to deliberately weaken the same southwest flank where the unstable landmass is located. There are even precise secondary earthquakes in the precise location of earlier earthquakes. This appears to be a deliberate effort to cause the flank to slide into the ocean and generate a tsunami to wipe out the US East Coast. Look at how wicked these people are. Whoever is doing this appears to be trying to cause the destruction of the US East Coast. This may be an actual act of war, unless of course it's the US government doing it to cause a calamity which wipes out a slew of people who will no longer be able to claim welfare, Medicare or Medicaid. Think of how many people on the East Coast who have paid into Social Security for years wouldn't be alive to claim any benefits. Big savings for the US government. Even more enticing for some of the government control freaks, it will be the perfect excuse to implement nationwide martial law where all the big bank headquarters got demolished and the business capital of the country was destroyed, allowing the government to justify their takeover of everything. Or how about this? The tsunami happens, it kills the estimated 65 million that FEMA thinks could die in such a cataclysm. So the government goes to the bankers and says the country is wrecked. We have no hope at all of paying our $28 trillion national debt. We need debt forgiveness. And they get the slate wiped clean so they can start the whole shebang all over again. Whatever is going on La Palma may have begun naturally, but as of 11:45 p.m. Eastern US time on Friday, October 22, 2021, it now clearly looks as though some type of man-made attack is taking place. It looks like somebody wants a lot of Americans dead. Here is a direct link to the EMSC earthquake map. You can verify these findings yourself by going to the La Palma, then zooming in. The at IGN Spain National Geographic Institute tweeted the following at 12:18 p.m. Saturday. This Saturday afternoon, a 4.9 magnitude earthquake was located in Villa de Mazo at a depth of 38 kilometers. It has been felt by the population. It is the largest earthquake since the eruptive process began in #La Palma. Strange how, after over 30 days of eruption, they have now gotten the quote-unquote largest earthquake since the eruptive process began. Just 12 hours after this website reported in our story above, it appears the island is being attacked to cause earthquakes. Apparently, the technology that made the grid pattern of earthquakes shown above is working. The earthquakes are getting stronger. The Canary Islands agency that handles volcanoes in Volcan reports that a large section of the main cone on the volcano collapsed this morning. During this morning, part of the main cone collapsed. Footage at 11:30 Canarian time from St. Nicholas Road, Tacande, La Palma. Cone collapse video. This video shows the latter part of the main cone collapse. Significant tearing is already evident along the top mouth of the cone, but the boulders being smashed are clearly evident in this video. Bear in mind, these chunks of rock are bigger than 2 family homes as they are being hurled down the mountain.
Aquellos van caminando también.
Sí, sí. Eso se cae. Joder, tío. Mire la velocidad.
And that is the end of the article. So I'll play the clip of the predictive programming in the video game once more, okay? Let's watch that again.
This is La Palma, one of the Canary Islands, a paradise for sun-loving tourists. For us, the island holds quite another fascination, the Cumbre Vieja volcano. The brittle western slope of the volcano is covered in clefts and fissures where water has collected. And now for the interesting part. By placing several bombs in carefully calculated spots, we can use thermonuclear explosions to heat that water so that it will evaporate instantaneously. If you had paid attention in your physics classes, you would know that such a sudden evaporation of water would create sufficient pressure to shatter the volcano's brittle slope and send it crashing into the sea. Can you guess what comes next? That's right, a tsunami. Waves 200 meters high will charge across the Atlantic with the speed of an airplane. The tsunami will sweep across the east coast of the United States. New York will disappear in an apocalyptic flood, taking with it the self-proclaimed rulers of the world who are currently squabbling in blind incompetence at the UN headquarters. The resulting vacuum of power will be filled by our followers, some of whom have been biding their time in key positions for decades. They will take control and lead humankind to a new golden age.
Now, I saw this New York being swallowed up by water so many times in the beginning, so many times. And this is that angled building in Times Square, the one that is shaped like a V, like this in the corner, in Times Square. And it would just cover and just implode in, and then everything would go over it, and the water would come up in New York. A few cars would float to the top, and then the city would just be gone. It was just gone, just completely gone. The coast of California is wiped clean. But people are trying to get to some kind of ships, wooden ships. And these ships have been in many of my visions.
Can you guess what comes next? That's right, a tsunami. Waves 200 meters high will charge across the Atlantic with the speed of an airplane. The tsunami will sweep across the east coast of the United States. New York will disappear in an apocalyptic flood, taking with it the self-proclaimed rulers of the world who are currently squabbling in blind incompetence at the UN headquarters.
So you see how everything is planned, and they put their agendas in media, entertainment, video games, movies, anime, K-pop, music, whatever the case may be. Like, this whole thing has been planned years and years ago, okay? But it all fits into end times prophecy because the Bible already predicted of these end times events. So it's fitting right into end times prophecy. So you need not be afraid. Just put all your trust in God, you know. This is not something that should cause you to panic or fear. It should cause you to seek God and put your faith in God, because trust me, when everything is stripped away from you, you have nothing but your faith in God left. I'm telling you. So now is the time to make Christ the solid rock of your salvation. Turn to Him and put your trust in Him, because this world is a sinking ship. Okay? Everything else is just a distraction to distract you from their true agenda of what they're trying to do. All this is to bring about the reign of the Antichrist, the orchestrated crash of the economy, the orchestrated volcano eruptions, and everything, zombie apocalypse, all the things that they've planned is all for the Antichrist. Okay? Because after the chaos, he is the one that is going to bring peace. He is the one that is going to restore his economic system. He's going to bring order. He's going to bring everything. He's going to bring a solution to the so-called chaos that was already in place. Because when the Antichrist is revealed after the rapture, he's not going to come into power and then start setting up his beast system. No. Once he comes into power, the beast system is already in place for him to begin at once to use it at his disposal. You know, implement his Antichrist policies and everything. So everything will be ready for him, you know, when he rises to power. So that is what's happening now. Everything is being prepared for him. So we know that prophetically, we're truly at the very end, you know. And the next event is the rapture of the church. But that doesn't mean we won't see some hard times, we won't see some hardships. So brace yourself, guys, you know, and just turn to the Lord, and He is the one that will give you peace, and He is the one that will give you joy and just give you a sound mind, because the devil is going to try and steal away your joy and try and steal away your sound mind and try and cause you to panic and give into the beast system. So the Lord be with you all. Love you all. God bless you all. Till next time, see you in the clouds or in the next video. Bye.
Now I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. Also, there was no more sea. Then I, John, saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. God himself will be with them and be their God, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. There shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away. Then he who sat on the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said to me, Write, for these the words are true and faithful. And he said to me, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give of the fountain of the water of life freely to him who thirsts. He who overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. Amen.